You're not going to break it down for me? 8 times 7.
8.
Oh.
8 times
8 times 7.
Oh.
8 times 8.
42.
7 times 7.
48.
12 times 5. 12 times 5.
60. Yay, she won. Yay!
Sometimes teachers use the process of inquiry to think deeply about a particular learner in the classroom that is puzzling to him or her in some way, or a particular group of learners that is puzzling to the teacher in some way. And through the process of inquiry, the teacher gains insight into that puzzle and is better able to meet the learning needs of a child or a particular group of students. Stephanie Whitaker uses inquiry to get to really know each of her 15 ESOL students. She utilizes that knowledge to challenge and push their thinking, particularly in math. She was engaged in an inquiry guided by the wondering, how can I help my students improve in mathematics to become master learners? As a part of that inquiry, Stephanie keeps track of all of her students and their progress in mathematics through math conference forums, journals, and learning logs. For Stephanie, inquiry has become a way of being in her classroom, where she constantly analyzes data on her students' math learning throughout the year and uses the knowledge she gains from that analysis to help her learners set math goals and to make instructional decisions as she teaches.
This is where I am. I'd like to become better. So what does the research say about becoming a better mathematics teacher? What do great mathematics teachers do? How can I make that work in my classroom? How will I make that work with ESOL students? I do want to see their math scores go up. They deserve that from me. So that's where coming up with a way to keep track of their thinking with the math conference forums and helping them set math goals. And so I could really keep track of, making sure I'm getting with them and really listening to them. Hold on. So here's your whole. How many equal pieces did you just break it into? 3. So if you shade in 1, what is that going to be? 1 out of
2, 3.
Is that 3 out of 2? Is it? I was coming around today and I met with 5 or 6 students and I was really bending their brains. And I think I bent Stoudemire's brain the most today. Stoudemire had something that looked like this. And he even started to label half, whole, whole. And then he just kind of stopped. And I said, Stoudemire, what does that mean then? So he drew me a model of 1 out of 2. He drew me a circle. So then I asked him to show me 2 out of 2. So he drew another circle, he split it in half, and he shaded both. So then I said, okay, well then what is this? And he looked at it, and he drew me this. And he got the 2 pieces, and he's like, oh, I need 3. And he looked at it, and he looked at it, and he's like, no. He did make it, I will tell you that. He was victorious today. How do you think he did it?
He should have drawn a circle, and then 2, and then another one.
And then what did he do with this circle? Brittany?
Cut it in 2 pieces and only colored 1.
Oh, yeah, this is exactly what he did. He was showing me that, yeah, he can list them, but he started attaching them to the models, and I could really see him thinking about what that means for the bottom numbers to be the same. A couple years ago, I might have just said, okay, can you draw me 1/2? And if he would have drawn 1/2 of a circle, I would have been like, oh, great, he can do models of fractions. And so now it's like, I know to take him to that next level. And I'll probably check on that with him in a week and see if it's something he still struggles with, or if it's something that he's understands now. So I just, like, I'm more aware because I've had the opportunity to collect the data and to look at it with an open mind, and to not expect anything, to just know that, well, what does that mean? Not just to take it as it is.
Like her interaction with Stoudemire, Stephanie uses data she collects on all her students to help them construct conceptual understanding of math rather than just understand procedure.
Right now we're doing three-dimensional shapes, and I was never showed how to break a cube into a net and to see it on grid paper and to understand that why the surface area was all of the faces. I plan more on giving them those opportunities because I'm looking for their thinking through. Because if you just see them plugging in numbers, I can't learn anything from that. All I can learn from that is that they can plug in a 10 and a 4 in this formula. I don't know if they are understanding what the face of a cube is. I don't know if they're understanding that it's three-dimensional. I don't know if they even understand what three-dimensional means, because all I've done, well, it says on my benchmarks that I need to do surface area, so here's the formula, kids, and I'm just sitting over at my computer, la la la. But now it's, because I'm trying to find where they are with all of this data, they're understanding it because I'm giving them the opportunities to experience it, and I'm planning for it. When I say I'm going to do surface area this week, we're going to do it 4 different ways before I even give them the formula. Now the students, they see it and it makes sense. It's not that I don't ever show them a formula, they're going to need to know them. But now it makes sense. Do you see why it's the base times the height, or the length times the width, or whatever it is for that shape? It makes sense to them because they've constructed their foundation, they've had time to use it and to see it without me telling them what it was. And then when you connect the two, it makes sense to them. It's worked this year. They've made great gains on their common assessments. We were the lowest, and now I think we're the 3rd highest. The reality of that is there's 15 students in here that are ESOL. We should have grown, but everyone else should have grown ahead of us. And so for us to go ahead of 2 classes, like in the dust, not even close, it's working. It's working. 4 times 8.
32.
4 times 9.
36.
5 times 1.
For Stephanie, inquiry has become a part of her everyday teaching practice. She views teaching and her classroom in a whole new way, and clearly, it's having an impact on her students.